Ryan, why don't you leave us with our last brag, struggle, gratitude? How was the weekend? How are your opens?
Yeah, a little bit of a struggle. We're kind of slowing down on showings. I did one Thursday night, nobody came. And then I did one Saturday afternoon. We had one group come through. So showing slowing down. We have one interested person, but they're going to be contingent, and we kind of have a an agreement with the house that we're under contract that we won't accept a contingent offer. So yeah, it's a little slow at the moment.
Got it. Well, another week. Awesome. Couple reminders as we go into this week or updates. One is I put on the calendar last week for our July team retreat. This will be our mountain retreat on July 22nd to 24th up in Frisco again. More details to come for it, but if you guys could mark your calendars and plan some summer vacations around that time, we are looking forward to getting together and using that as an opportunity to connect and kind of dial in on some training opportunities. So that should be on your calendar. Um, and then I also wanted to point out, I put in Slack, we added an events page on our website. Seems pretty straightforward, but just wanted to point out where it was for you all, so that you guys can hopefully more easily share the meetups and then other events we have going on. So under education, if you go to events, we'll have the meetup on here. We'll have our monthly investor mastermind with the link to RSVP. And then I also have the co-living webinar and the co-living conference. The co-living webinar is going to be on April 29th this month. So next week, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And Craig will probably be doing these in a pretty like a weekly cadence. But for now, that's kind of
Well,
the next one. Or
yeah, we'll get to weekly. Eventually it'll be weekly. They'll probably start like maybe once a month and then every other week and then
okay,
yeah.
cool. I won't commit you to weekly yet, but for
Slow it
now,
down, Julie.
I'm giving Craig a taste of his own medicine. We'll do it
Yeah.
daily
Yeah.
Yeah.
at noon in every time zone.
They take me like 3 weeks to create each one, so I'd like to have
But we'll have those and upcoming opportunities for those here, and then also the co-living conference, which we've talked about briefly. But this will be the event that Craig is going to be co-hosting
yes.
with Grant. And they're going to be bringing in. Actually, you speak to it better than me.
Yeah, so this whole thing is like we're trying to get as many people involved in co-living as possible. We'd love to see you guys there. I got you guys the steepest possible discount. If you use that code I love Craig 100, you'll get it for $100. Tickets right now are 300 and they'll end up going up to 500 a little closer to the event. But the idea is that it's all things co-living. There's like obviously there'll be some content. There'll be a bunch of people there that are in co-living. I believe the president and CEO of PadSplit is going to be there. We've got some heavy hitters coming, and so this is kind of going to be like the quintessential co-living event of the year, is what we're trying to make this. And so yeah, this will probably be the cheapest it's ever
Nice.
been because we want to get as many people there as possible. So I definitely recommend coming in, and we'll probably end up having a booth there as well. And so we'll probably need a couple of you guys to work a booth and talk to people that come through. And it's a great place to pick up leads that are looking for co-living because it's literally everybody there is going to be doing that. So, so yeah, that's the
Cool.
shtick.
And if people want to invite people to it, can they also use that code? I love Craig
Yeah, if you
100.
want to, if you want to invite people to it, if you've got clients that are in co-living, um,
Mm.
or friends or whatever, just you can give them that code. I love Craig 100. We're really not trying. We're gonna like probably lose money on this event, to be honest. But the whole point is just to get a bunch of people there. And so again, it's $100. I don't think there's any other. The first real estate conference I ever went to, it was $300, and it was. I don't think it'll be as good as this. So it's as good as a deal as we can get. Try to get people there would be awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so we'll keep pushing our events and highlighting them on this page if you want to share this link off with people. So cool. The next thing I wanted to share is open house opportunities. How many of you are still committed to doing 50 open houses during the open house challenge?
Aye.
All right. All right. All right. I got 2.5 of y'all. So some opportunities, Carrie, oh, if you want to confirm what your clients are available for Albion.
Yeah.
I know they're back, right, this week.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
text, see.
Okay. Fabulous.
And
Just
then
confirm with
Julie,
you
I
all.
should be scheduled for like 11 to 3 on Chad's.
Okay.
I know it's
Here.
up in the air because he might, like they might get a guest, but I doubt it.
Okay. Fabulous. All right, awesome. You're in for it. So there's availability here if anyone wants to do the Stewart Street listing. If anyone wants to go up to Greeley, we can chat with Ryan and see what's available up there. And then for now, it's really going to be the Pennsylvania property here. I know a lot of you have held the opens, but for the point of the contest, getting some of these on here. And then down here, the Path Home Team has a new listing coming live this weekend, and there's opportunities out at this Golden property. So check this out. I'll also confirm that the Jensen's Home Partners add their upcoming ones. And I think all the teams have more coming active in the beginning of May. So, you know, take opportunities that are available now, but we'll have some more properties in the next week or so. So, any
When
questions?
is the golden one available? Friday?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, Saturday, Sunday. Okay.
Mhm. Cool. And then, yeah, I'll check with the Jensen team on what they have coming. So, all right, cool. That being said, we're doing a little script practice here. I wanted to bring these slides up. We were talking about this in one of the Valencia calls, if you guys were on it, but the difference between like bluffs and objections. And so I just wanted to give you guys like a few thoughts and thinking points of when somebody's kind of just bluffing you to get you off the phone versus when they have a genuine objection. And so we'll just kind of like move through some of these scripts and hopefully it can track your brain so that when you do hear these, your light goes off of like, wait a minute, you're just trying to get me off the phone versus like, oh no, their credit really did change and I need to do something because that's a legitimate objection. So,
That should be a
cool.
line.
What?
Wait a minute, you're just trying to get me off the phone.
You should use that line.
See if it works.
Yeah. All right, Carrie, you want to kick us off with this first one here?
Sure. I'm too busy right now. Just want me to read the whole page?
Sure, go for it, and then we can discuss.
So it's a bluff. What it really means is they're brushing off the conversation without saying no. So how to respond. I totally understand. It sounds like you're having a busy day. So I just want to know, is this something that you'd revisit later in the week, or is this really a priority right now? Or is this not a priority right now?
Is this a line you guys have heard?
Yeah, I say it all the time to people that call.
Every time a spam call comes through, this is what they say.
Yeah.
Yep, this is super common.
Cool. All right, Rye, you got this one.
We're gonna wait until interest rates drop. Type objection. What it really means, they're concerned about affordability and market timing. How to respond. Thanks for sharing that. Totally valid. Out of curiosity, what kind of rate would you feel more confident moving forward with?
I feel like this one is something that like people are trying to like sound smart and sophisticated and wise and all that when they say this one, but actually they have no idea what's going on. Or they don't really understand real estate. So know that in the back of your head. But like, yeah, obviously don't say that to them. And then
Yeah.
try to like give them a little bit of like wisdom about it too. Where it's like, okay, I'll with this one, I might say something like this to see like where rates would need to be. And if they're like, oh, rates, when they get to be around 5%, I mean, okay, like if rates go around 5%, like what do you think might happen to housing prices? Then just let them answer their own questions. They'll go up. Okay. So you're telling me is that you'd rather pay $50,000 more for a house at a 5% interest rate than $50,000 less at a 7% interest rate? You're willing to give me $50,000 for 2% difference on an interest rate? And it just kind of sounds silly. And it might, in which case you'll get to if that's actually their objection, they'll probably set up a call with you. If that's just an excuse for something else that's going on, you could either dig a little bit deeper or, I mean, yeah, I'd just say try to dig a little deeper and just say, okay, so like if that's not the concern, like then what really is the concern? And if they're not willing to chat, then whatever, move on.
Craig, do you think there's like, when people are like, oh, I'm just waiting for rates to drop, that a response could be like, what are you looking for your monthly payment to be?
Yeah. I think I think you could ask that. Like, yeah, you could just ask why, like, why are they looking for rates to drop? And then you ask if it's because of the monthly payment. And then you could say, like, that's what most people are looking for with their home is their monthly payment. And so what's going to happen when rates drop is that prices are going to rise so that it meets that monthly payment.
Yeah.
And so, and prices tend to rise a lot higher than when interest rates drop. So you kind of just use that like $50,000 analogy and see what they would say. And if they're like, yes, I would rather pay $50,000 and get a 2% less interest rate. I mean, they probably could do that if they want to buy down their points enough. So it's really not, to me, like, it's not really a valid excuse. It's just like an excuse they think is good for something else. And it might be some like they're just scared, they're unsure. And so kind of trying to get to like the root of that problem and understanding that I think is good.
Yeah, I think it's a very easy excuse to like kind of get off the phone too.
Yep.
Right.
Or like
Exactly.
just not wanting to take the risk of
Yep.
buying something.
Julie, can you add that $50,000 line to one of these?
About,
Like how Craig, that
What Craig
objection?
just said.
yeah.
Cause I don't know if I could
I'm-
repeat that on like just out of my memory, but if I had it in front of me and that I could
Yeah. Cool.
repeat your one.
Mhm.
We'll get it
had a
out. to
little
you.
bit of success with the pointing out expectation versus reality, right? Like I've had now conversations with clients like a year ago that said they were going to wait until interest rates dropped, and without saying it, like how'd that work out for you? You know what I mean? Because like we were expecting like 8 drops from the Fed, which then became like 1 or 2. And so that combination of Craig said in the past of like the cost of waiting, right? Like how much appreciation did you miss out on? And rates haven't gone down, and just kind of showing that has been successful for me.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah, I think a big part of this and this will come with confidence and like, but what shows that you're an experienced agent is like asking questions to them to help them answer their own objection, right? Like that's elite level that we want to get you guys to, because people don't respond as well when you tell them something. They respond much better when they come to that conclusion on their own.
Yeah, true.
All right, Andrew. We're just looking. Have you heard this one before?
Oh, every day. Great. A lot of my clients start there. Just curious, is there something specific that caught your eye recently? Or you're just more in the info gathering phase?
Nice.
To that comment of you hear it every day. So how do you normally handle this if someone says to you, I open to everyone? Oh, I'm just looking.
I usually try to get a time frame. Like, is there a reason? Is your lease expiring? But a lot of people don't want to share that either.
Magic wand.
Okay.
I would probably do the 3 months to 3 years framework there, or I would say, hey, yeah, like a lot of people we talk to are in that phase, but most people fall on the timeline between 3 months and 3 years. Where would you put yourself on that timeline? And then just like have them give you an answer. And oftentimes they'll be like, oh, like a year or two. All right, sweet. And then I would go into this, what are you looking for kind of question. So that way you put them in watch, you set up on a search that hits their criteria, and then you just, you're calling them every 3 months.
Cool. Hey, Jared, I know you've heard this one.
I have a friend who's an agent. They may feel obligated or are using this to end the conversation. So I say, totally respect that. Loyalty matters. Is your friend actively helping you right now, or are you still exploring options? Sorry, it's so small on my phone.
So Chad's kind of dealing with this right now. He's got someone who's reached out to him and he wants to buy an investment property, but needs to sell his property, but grandma's an agent. Like,
This is one
How
of
do
my
you-
nurtures, actually.
yeah, tell us about it.
I reached out, it was expired, I don't know, last year, I think May or June of last year. I reached out doing expireds, and he was like, oh, yeah, my brother-in-law is an agent. We're going to work with him, da 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 da. And then I just kind of kept an eye on it, followed up 3 months later and asked him again. He's like, yeah, my brother-in-law decided to get out of real estate. And I was like, cool. So you don't have anybody. And so I just been consistently following up with him, and hopefully here in the near future, because I think that's what he said, around May-ish is when they're going to look at listing again, once the kids are out of school, May, June, I think he said. So it's just kind of funny. Like, he started out saying the same thing, but the follow-up.
Yeah. Any other insights? Any other lines you guys use?
I
I
like
don't
just
have a
try.
line, but
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you got it.
Okay. I don't have a line, but I did have a lead that I think I found in the pond. And like we were talking, he ended up using his brother-in-law to buy, and he knew it was a mistake because he called me back about it. And so they do want to buy another property, I think maybe next year. So we're planning to meet up here soon. So I think just staying on them even after, even if they make that decision, it could pay off.
The Albion House had originally listed the house with their friend last year, and it went bad. They didn't have any open houses, showings, nothing.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would the way I would work that is kind of say, hey, if 90% of realtors actually are not that great. And not to say that your friend's not great, but what if your friend did a bad job with one of the most important decisions you ever made with your life? Like, do you think you'll still be friends with them after? So is it worth jeopardizing your friendship over, 2.5%, 3%? And maybe it is, maybe it's not. But I'll say great. I think I told you guys last week about Grace's friend who moved to Denver, and when Grace was a realtor here in Denver, and she didn't use Grace because she didn't want to hurt their friendship. And at first I was kind of butthurt about that, but then I was kind of like, oh, actually, it's a pretty smart thing because her parents are helping her buy the house, and her parents are very difficult. And I think they made the agent take half the commission as a rebate or whatever, and so that probably would have felt pretty bad.
Okay.
But all your friends should work with you. So
The
But all your
Dome
friends
Car
work with you.
sphere of influence.
No, all your friends should work with you, but you're good. That's the thing. It's that you're good. Whereas a lot of other agents are not good.
Yeah. All right, Slanger, you wanna end us on not interested here?
Okay.
Or just go ahead and read it.
Okay. Got it. Oh, not inter. What's I'm reading the respond.
Just yeah.
Read the whole thing.
Read the whole
Okay.
thing.
Not interested. Type bluff. Often a knee-jerk response. What it really means is they want to end the call quickly, but may not fully understand the value yet. How to respond? Got it. Can I ask just one quick question so I don't follow up unnecessarily?
So, right, the question could be like, hey, can I get your email? I'd love to set you up on a market report. Nah, I'm not interested.
Or what's your favorite color? Just kidding.
Oh. Greg will do anything to keep
Is
him on the
there-
phone.
But yeah, I wonder what if there is a better question, because I'm sure they don't want a market report from us if they're
Yeah.
just saying not interested. Is there like
I would
Any
probably just
ideas?
maybe, what are your real estate plans in the next
okay,
3 years?
okay.
I was gonna say, I think Magic Wand is a good one, or like what would that have to change? What would have to change for that to change kind of a thing? I think it's like a really open-ended and it lets them kind of take, give you more information.
My only problem with the magic wand here is that you don't even know if they're looking to buy. Like they actually legitimately could not be interested.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on where you found the person, right? If it's like a circle prospecting, you might just want to get an idea of what their real estate plans are because like you're just calling them out of the blue. If it's someone that's on our website, you could just say, "Hey, I saw you were looking over in Arvada. Is that the neighborhood that you're interested in?" Oh, it is. Great. Okay. Well, rather than like have to search our website every single time, why don't I just send you properties that exactly meet your criteria once a week, right? And that way you can just,
Mm,
you know, then you set them on a weekly drip or whatever it is.
yeah. I sometimes I just remember that sometimes I'll ask like, are you just not interested this year, or would would anything change next year?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that goes back to kind of like what would have to change for that what would have to change
Yeah.
for you to be interested? Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for playing along with those.
Yeah,
I've
so as you
told,
guys are as
I want to
oh,
say too, I've told like someone on the phone too that one of my nurturers that like if I went over the home buying process with you, like that will help you gauge whether you're going to be ready in the next 3 months or 3 years, like to give you an idea of what to expect. And then that's how I kept them on the phone, like no strings attached, just like know what you're getting into. And then you can kind of base your timeline off of that. And then I kept them on the phone with that.
that's great. I mean, yeah, if you could land an appointment out of it somehow with like, hey, can I
Mhm.
run you through that would be ideal.
Right.
As you
is
guys
great.
are as you guys are going through this challenge, right, 5,000 dials, you're going to hear a lot of objections. You will drastically increase your conversion rate if you get better and more confident at these. And the only way you get confident and better at them is if you use them and you try them. And so it's a little uncomfortable. Kind of go with it. Know that like most people are afraid to actually handle any objections and they just hang up the phone and they go to the next one. And most people are not good at real estate. So you have to do the things that are uncomfortable, push yourself. Because if you can take these next 2.5 months and get really, really good at objection handling, well, the rest of your career is going to be a lot easier. And then you're going to start to love objection handling because it's something hard that you worked on that most people aren't good at. I don't know about you, but the things that I love to do most are the things that I'm good at that most people aren't good at. Right? So let's make objection handling maybe one of those things that you definitely work on. The fear of calling and objection handling, and y'all will crush.
Yeah, thanks for going over those. Could you send us or link
Yeah. Yeah, I'll type them up so you guys have them, and then I'll add
Okay.
in the 50K line from Craig.
And if you get any objections that you're just like like whatever, you just don't know what to say. A, make something up, but B, also like bring it to us and let's see like how we might have handled it. And yeah, let's just, it's not all like there's objections and then there's conditions, right? The conditions are like, oh, my husband's getting a new job in 3 months, or waiting for my daughter to graduate so we can leave. Those are just timeframes. Those you just call back, you follow up on. And then the objections, of course, are actually harder. So recognizing those and then knowing how to handle them is important.
It'd be kind of nice too, like how we post whenever we get our nurtures in winning. If anybody that actually successfully finds a way to overcome an objection and get an appointment out of or something, if somebody could post what they used, that way we can kind of replicate that.
That'd be great.
Mhm. Yeah, always.
Yeah, I like that.
Subtle brag.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome.
right.
All right, y'all.
What's that,
Said, all right, y'all.
Andrew? What time is it?
Prospecting time.
Let's go. Respect your calendars. 150 calls a day to stay on track with the challenge. See you guys. Make it happen.
Team.
Happy dials. Happy challenge.